Welcome to my creative space. Today I'm going to talk about how I set up my knitting machines so my back doesn't hurt and my neck doesn't hurt. Because one of the things I noticed, and one of the things I hear people complain about who've been knitting a while, using a knitting machine for a while, is they complain about neck pain and back pain. And it didn't take me long to start noticing, my neck was getting a little bit sore, or my back was just not feeling really good. So what I did was I put my knitting machines on a table and we raised the table so that way I can knit and stand up. So I'm not just twisting my body, I'm actually standing up and using my whole core when I knit, which has been so much easier on my back. If I want to knit for a couple of hours straight, I can. Also, what was really hurting was if I was doing a lot of reformed stitches or lace stitches, stuff you had to use your transfer tools with a lot, I was looking down a lot. And that really hurt my neck so bad. So with this setup, when I sit down, I am more eye level with my machine. So that way I'm looking right at it. I'm not looking down. So that way I can see clearly what I'm doing without hurting my neck. Also, my machines are not set up on an expensive metal knitting machine stand. The 150, the 100, they're super lightweight. So I just have a $60 craft table, or I think these are also called banquet tables on Amazon. It's a 6x3. I can fit both machines on here, which works really, really well because they share some of the same accessories. So I have all this space. I'll show you how we lifted this table. You can buy tables that adjust, so you don't have to do this because it's kind of not cute, but it's in my workshop and it gets the job done, and it was super cheap to do. So that's what we did. So that's how I've got my machines set up so I can stand in there and not have back pain or neck pain. Okay, this is how we lifted this table. My husband just took PVC pipe and he cut it to the length I needed it, so that way it could raise the table. Did it on all four legs, you can see over there. So it would raise the table to the height that I wanted, which is 36 inches. If you're taller, you might want it a little bit higher. If you're shorter, you might want it a little bit shorter. That's the beautiful thing about this. You can customize it to yourself, and it's really inexpensive and very, very flexible. Also, I cannot say enough about having a little set of drawers, a little storage container, or one of those rolling carts to put your accessories in. Extra carriages, samples. Can't say enough about having one of those. It's a great thing to have. Also, something to put notes and your instruction manual in is really nice to have conveniently located nearby. And also I like to have these little bins. This is where I put my yarn, especially if I'm using two colors, so that way it doesn't get tangled up. And over here you see I've got my other machine. Cannot stress enough that you need some kind of cover for your machines so that way they don't get dusty when you're not using them. Also, a good thing to have is a little caddy. I've got my little bobbins here, needles, transfer tools, washable markers, pens, and then I've got this little thing. I got this at a thrift store. I put my pattern here when I'm working on it, and it's just I think it's a napkin holder. I've got two of them, one for each, set up for each machine, and they have come in really handy. For my LK100, I did want to put in here really quick, I've got these little baskets from the dollar store that's how I hold my yarn in place for it, because the yarn comes down this way and feeds up. So I have to have yarn, some kind of way to control the yarn down here. It's just what works for me. Set your machine up however works for you.